meeting to order. Bless the superintendent that leads the invocation and the pledge.
Father, we just thank you, Lord, for this great opportunity that you provide us, Lord, to be here to work with kids and to lead kids and to make decisions for our schools. Lord, we just always ask for wisdom and guidance and your knowledge and discernment in each and everything we do. We pray that everything we say and everything we do honors and glorifies you. We ask these things in Jesus' name.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Mr. Superintendent.
Yes, sir.
Item C, adoption of the agenda. Is there any addition or corrections to the agenda?
Move adoption of the agenda as presented.
Second.
Moved and seconded, any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Motion passes. We'd like to welcome visitors. We always like to see a big crowd of people. If there's anybody who would like to address the board for public comment, this would be the time to do so.
If you're here for Miss Sherry's class, this is the time that you have to stand up and introduce yourself.
Who's here from the
All
sheriff's
of you.
class?
All of you, go ahead. That's part of it.
My name is Lisa Raven for Schuler's class. I'm going to be with the Schuler's class. Scared by cold Schuler's class. We're still at top of the I'm Caitlin Bedford from the Schuler's class. Ashley Dixon. I'm Caroline Klein from the teacher's class. I'm Jessica Clark from the teacher's class.
Are y'all getting extra credit also?
There's the one that she's more sport than
Well, thank you all for coming. We hope that it's entertaining for you and learning experience for you tonight. And we'll roll into, if there is no other public comment, okay. We'll roll out item E, and that's our CTE presentation. Ms. Carroll. This is CTE week, right?
It is CTE month.
Month.
It is a month.
Month.
It is national
Feels like
CTE month. Yes, sir, it does feel like it in many ways. So, good evening, Mr. Superintendent, Mr. Chairman, and members of the board. There's kind of a lot going on tonight, but we're going to try to do this as efficiently as we can. The theme this year is actually the same as it was last year, which is celebrate today and home tomorrow. So, each and every day we do celebrate our students, especially the successes that our students are able to achieve. But tonight we're going to celebrate the successes of our CTE students. And we're going to focus on some of the skills that they are learning that will allow them to be successful tomorrow. To emphasize the power of today's student work, we have two presentations. The first is a demonstration on some new software that students are learning to use in our agri-science programs at both Chiefland and Williston High School. Will McCoy and Adam Sistrunk, if you will come forward, they will share with you how we are using Precision Hub and the benefits related to the field of agriculture. I may have to, sorry.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Will McCoy,
My name is Adam Sistrunk.
and we are both members of our FFA chapters and of our ag classes where we are learning about Highland Precision Ag. First off, what is Highland Precision Ag? The Highland Precision Ag Hub is a site that organizes all of your data on an easy-to-use dashboard that can be securely addressed at any time on any smart device or computer. This gives you the ability to create work orders, view weekly reports, analyze the costs, and create virtual scouting records, as well as maintaining crop maintenance records, organizing food safety logs, and best management practices, so you can manage your inventory with access to purchase supplies.
You might be asking, what could what can Island Precision Agriculture do? Well, it can do everything from keeping a record of the production of your crops to promoting best management practices on your farm. And that's just to name a few. There's the entire list off of the website.
So once you go into the Highlands Ag program, once you've made an account, you've logged in, it gives you that list up there of all the things that you can try to apply to. So first off, we see that the crop IQ. This allows you to keep all records and reports from past and present seasons, as well as a label research, so that if you were to spray for a pesticide, or if you were to spray a pesticide, you can look up the label in the system, and it'll tell you if it's a recommended for your crop, as well as the season or the time of year that it is.
You also have the Farm Details tab. Using the Farm Details tab, you can pick out your property using satellite imaging, and you can plot your fields based on what you're growing there or what crop you have there for that time of the year. We use this at our land lab, and we plotted out the field. It told us that we had approximately 33 acres, and we cut up all the fields into their separate categories, such as our rye fields and our heifer fields. And we then put in some more information, and it gave us feedback as to how they would recommend that we treat those fields.
Okay. Another one that you see is the field data, which kind of applies more to the current season. So if you're a producer who grows strawberries in the winter, but then also does peanuts in the summer and the winter, or the summer and the spring, that way you can kind of keep them separate, and that way that the seasons don't kind of mesh together, so that you don't have a whole bunch of records and some that you don't need, while some that you need more. That's more pressing.
You also have the Labs tab. When you use the Labs tab, you can go out into the field and notice something wrong with your crop. But if you don't necessarily know what's wrong with it, you can take a sample of that crop, send it off to one of the Highlands Precision Agriculture laboratories, and they will send it back with exactly what's wrong and how to fix it. This makes it absolutely easier in order to fix any problems that you have with your crops, in order to have the best management practices on your farm.
Another one up there is the probe and weather station, which is one that kind of tracks the weather for you, as well as if you were spraying chemicals one day, it allows you to kind of track the weather for that day, and you can input it into the day that you sprayed, so that you can label what day you sprayed and the weather conditions, so that if something doesn't go right, you can kind of see, okay, maybe it rained that day, so the chemicals didn't have enough time to set in, or the wind or the humidity kind of played a factor into that.
And finally, you have your Scouting Report tab. With the Scouting Report tab, you don't always have to be at your field in order to keep getting updates about that field. You can either send a farmhand or one of your employees out, and they can input data about what they observed on the field, and it will go straight into the Farm Details tab. With this, it allows you to maintain other fields and not be at every single field every single time, because this website acknowledges that that's impossible. I mean, you have a huge farm, you can't be at every single field. So with this, you really can be via your smartphone or computer.
So looking up here though, you do see that there are two that we didn't talk about, called the Highland Market Watch and the Food Safety. The Highland Market Watch was removed and it's not up on the site. It's not up to date. And the Food Safety one seems to be a little more closed down. They don't give you the option to click on it. But by learning this in our ag classes, we are bettering the future agricultures that are coming out of our farm, by keeping them up to date on the technology that agriculture offers to new employees every year. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Asbell, there's kids from Williston. Talking at a level. It's pretty interesting to me though, because I don't want to take up a lot of time, but this is brand new technology in the industry, and you're using it in the classroom. And this company who developed this launched it last year. I use it in my operation also. And they came to me, whatever it was, 8 or 10 months ago, and says, we want to offer this to ag students because I think we sit here 5 years from now, and there's jobs being developed right now because of this type of technology. We don't have enough trained personnel to do what we do any longer. So Will McCoy comes out of Wilson High School with the knowledge, and this is with the food safety issues and all the things that are going on in agriculture. A trained person coming out of high school that can manage this for a farm operation. There's going to be a whole new industry. Pretty exciting.
So what were some of the recommendations for changes that we had?
Some of the stuff we plant rye throughout the year. Sometimes we have some tests that kind of get into that, or some factors that kind of don't make it as much, so we can't turn our cattle onto there. So we're trying to figure out a way that the rye stays there for a longer time, so that we can put our cows on.
And this also works very well with row crops, so we'll be using this a lot in the spring as we work on our garden behind the school.
You guys compete in any contests or?
Yes, sir.
Hey, Will, tell Mr. Haswell what happened this week.
We placed 7th in the state, or the preliminary livestock contest. And I was 15th time individual.
Out of 300.
That's
For Wilson.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Mr. Etheridge,
Yes, sir.
where is this software available in Bronson? Our kids will be serving on the board and food safety thing. But it ain't in Bronson. That's a question. Now, why is it only in Chiefland and Wilson? Because number of kids, money? I mean, is there, I'm gonna act like Rick Turner. Why is this not?
Why is this? And those are always good questions. I met with Frankie Hall last March at the Swan River Fair, and he shared with me this software program. This summer, our ag teachers had an opportunity to learn a little bit more about the program at a summer workshop. So it was up to the ag teachers to decide whether they wanted this program or not. It's a yearly lease. It's really not terribly expensive. I will say that we learned that this is not necessarily the best program for what some of the students were doing at Chiefland. We talked about, these guys told me, I couldn't remember what they told me, but Pine Trees, for example, this is not a suitable software program for them. So they have used it at Chiefland. I don't know that they've used it as extensively. They used it in the beginning. They'll use it again in the spring, as they were saying, because they'll have their spring gardens going at the school and everything. But it was an option of the advisor whether they wanted to invest in it at that time. And it was brand new. I think we're probably, I don't know how many, honestly, counties bought into this. I don't know that it went statewide with, everybody jumping on board. Mainly, Mr. Etheridge's connection with Mr. Frankie Hall, as that's how I came into the picture. So Frankie came to the Swan River Fair, and we previewed this in the poor internet environment of Fanny Springs. And so that was my experience with the product. And so I'm excited though. I see great potential. And you are so right that this is the way of the future. And we'll talk a little bit about how Bronson students will eventually be those who are creating this type of software. So
That was my segue.
We'll take it.
Mr. McCoy, Mr. Sistrum, did you bring your advisors with you tonight? Would you like to hear this stuff?
On the left is Ms. Shelby Rogers, she's the junior chapter and animal science teacher. And on the right is Austin Skipper, he's the horticulture teacher and senior chapter advisor.
So we're getting him accustomed to being in Williston, Mr. Etheridge. All the bad habits out of him, so we go.
Absolutely. We have a great team with this.
Yes, sir. Well, I want to thank these two guys for coming in tonight. I know that we're cutting in probably into some either study time or practice time, either one. So just a little thank you for coming tonight and sharing with us. We appreciate it. Did y'all want to show real quick what it actually looks like live, or? I was going to show you what it looks like as far as the actual live website.
So this is what the website will look like. Or this is what it is when you log in. And you can see off to the sides, it gives you all these Crop IQ, gives you the part where you can put in your records. If you want to add some records, you can search for your labels. You can look at reports and look at your products as well as the cost that you've had. Under the labs, you can see view the results you've had and submit your samples to them when you have them all. It'll keep track of all that. Scouting report, you can view old reports on this tab and you can create a new one off of your smartphone or your computer. They don't give you the drop downs, those will take you to your soil probes if you have any out in your fields and your weather stations. And field data, click on this. It will load.
Adam, on the scouting report, can you see other crops, what other crops are doing in the area? Do you get other people's information, like to see if your crop's gonna
No, you can only see yours, but you can see all of yours.
So Highland has scouts that go to your field once a week. They scout the field, they find the problem, drop the in your field where the location of the problem is. So anytime you can go look at the land lab and that scout's been there, and if they found a pest in that area, they have a pin drop over, you can go to that exact location.
And that's all part of the licensing fee of
No,
that.
see, this is the little part of that, when the town wants to witness.
So how,
I was just curious, are any of the Lincoln County farmers using this, you know?
I would answer.
They're using it.
Others producers and chief are using it also.
so how does it work with
Best-
the animal side of it? So it doesn't, it's just a problem.
No problem.
Normally whenever you have this, you can see an aerial view of your field. If you have like separate fields around like a barn or something, you can crop off the certain fields that have different plants. So you were to grow tomatoes on one side and strawberries on the other, you kind of separate them. And you have like it's split off. That way that you can, but they're not all bunched up. You can always say, oh, there's just one crop in this field, no, there's actually two of them. Or you can do that. And right here, you can see all your users and employees that are connected to the county.
Very good.
Yeah, it's our first year launch, and so I know we're gonna learn to grow with this, and we know that the technology is changing all the time. And I think that's one of the, the biggest things we can do as we prepare our students to leave us, is to be better prepared to use that technology that is always changing. So,
Good job.
thank you.
Can you bring it over?
You gotta bring it back, man.
For senior year.
Come on,
Senior
man.
pictures.
Brother's got
Joseph's
the
got the
beard,
beard.
you get the hair.
I grow a beard before I grow a throwback.
No, bring the pro, man.
Thank you, guys. Yeah, excellent. So, again, agriculture is, as you will see later, one of our highest enrollment programs. We have a lot of diversity with our agriculture programs. So this time I'd like for you to welcome Carolyn Kahn from Chiefland High School. She is a member of their high school academy, and she was actually accepted into the Rural Healthcare Residency Program at the University of Florida last summer. Spent 6 weeks on the campus of the University of Florida as well. And so she is going to share with us what her experience was like shadowing doctors and medical students. See what happens. There you go.
Okay, hi, I'm Carolyn Kahn from Chiefland High School. Today I'll be showing you my experience in the UF Healthcare Center Institute. This is a 4-week program that is designed to stimulate and motivate interest in health professions. It's sponsored by the Office for Diversity and Health Equity and also co-sponsored by SHANS. And it's available to all high school, not all high school students, excuse me, it's available to current sophomore and current junior students. Who can apply? Current underrepresented youth in these areas you can see here. There is no application fee required. The goal of this program is to provide an academic enrichment opportunity and exposure to healthcare professions, and to underrepresented ethnic minority groups, urban and rural backgrounds who are interested in entering health-related professions such as nursing, pharmacy, occupational and physical therapy, dentistry, and medicine. Eligibility requirements. I've already mentioned all of those. Minimum 2.5 GPA, you need to obtain a teacher recommendation, and you need to complete all the registration required. You need to complete a 300-word essay, send all of your high school transcripts, 2 letters of recommendation, and it needs to be signed by a notary. Once accepted, it was kind of a lengthy process. I had to get a physical, I had to be updated on all my shots, have a TB screening, and become HIPAA certified. But this is all the things you need to do in order to be in the healthcare field and be able to work in a hospital. I would like to mention that all of the expenses in this program were covered, which was wonderful. And for 4 weeks, we lived at BD Towers on UF campus. We shared a bedroom with
hours to eat at the College of Medicine cafeteria. And on the weekends, we kind of bonded to try to cook together in the counselor's dorms. So that was a lot of fun. And the white coat ceremony. So entry-level students in the medical field, they go through a white coat ceremony, and we did as well to like, it's what we need, excuse me, I'm sorry, I'm nervous. So we needed to wear these every time we shadowed forward. So we can look kind of professional when we're calling doctors around. So it was a really nice experience. Our day-to-day. So we woke up at 6 a.m., we had breakfast, we walked over to the College of Medicine. Some of us went shadowing, the others of us went to the UF library to work on homework. Then we went to lunch, and then for 4.5 hours we did SAT prep and Introduction to Health Professions class. And then we went to dinner, and we had an hour in the dorms to kind of play ping pong and have fun. And then we had study hall to do all of the homework. We had a lot of homework. And then we had curfew and the lights out. The 2 classes we took was Introduction to Health Professions. We heard from a lot of different health professionals, such as a physician's assistant, a neonatal nurse, an occupational therapist, and many others. We created resumes, which was very helpful because one of the doctors there, they reviewed our resumes to make sure everything was up to date and wonderful. And they taught us about financial aid and scholarships, which was very helpful. And we learned how to be successful in college and how to balance social and academic life. And we, in our last day, we presented our health career, what we wanted to do. And our SAT prep. Our first day at camp, we took a full-length SAT prep. And then we took another every 4 weeks to track our progress. And this was super helpful to see which techniques were working for us. And it was completely free, and we received 3 SAT books that we could continue after the program ended. My shadowing experience. So shadowing, if you don't know what it is, we follow doctors around and get to interact with patients. I personally shadowed a pediatric cardiologist, an emergency physician, an ENT doctor, a cardiac anesthesiologist, and a gastroenterologist. My favorite experience was probably cardiac anesthesiology because I got to see open heart surgery and tubal bypass, and I was right next to it, and it was really amazing. Our weekends, so it was so much work during the week. It was really worth it, but it was a lot of work. So on the weekends we had a lot of fun. We went to go see a play. We visited the stadium. We went thrifting. We went to a fancy dinner and had an etiquette class for that dinner. And we watched fireworks and played in the pool, scavenger hunt, and we did a whole campus tour, and it was a lot of fun. And finally we had a banquet. It was where they presented us with a certificate, and we got 30 hours of community service for shadowing these physicians. And we said our final goodbyes to everyone, and it was sad, but it was nice. What did I gain from this experience? I learned a lot about living on the college campus, and my counselors were current U.S. students, so I got to ask them a lot of questions that I couldn't ask people, and they answered so many questions, or at least some worries inside of me. And it provided me a solid foundation for knowledge and resources of how to apply to college. Like I said, I got my resume in order. It was very well. I learned about how to finance college and all the scholarships available to me. And I learned what I wanted to be, which is an emergency physician. So overall, I made a lot of treasured memories. I met some amazing people, and I gained the confidence to pursue my future career as an emergency physician. Does anyone have any questions?
Did you keep that?
No, I didn't.
So you're part of the HOSA program that you took the last one?
I am, and I would like to say that really helped me in my application process. So 24 students get accepted every year, and I think there was 85 this time.
And she just earned her certified nursing assistant license, so she could go to work tomorrow if she wanted to. But we're gonna let her wait.
Did you bring her advisor with you too?
I did. She's right there in the speech room. Again, one of the most powerful things, obviously, we know our students are learning those skills, but to me, the thing that I think really empowers our students is the confidence they gain by being on those college campuses. And all of our organizations and all of our classes provide those opportunities. So
to get kids on a college campus. And so, you know, when they graduate, they have that confidence to go, I know where to park, I know where I'm walking to. You know, all those things that really do kind of intimidate you when you leave the halls of your high school. And so Caroline was just so proud of her, and I mean, you know, 24 students, what a powerful experience to be at UF for that period of time. And I know that, you know, it's always nerve-wracking. She's actually one of the shy ones in Health Academy, so convincing her to come, I appreciate that so much. And of course, their advisors are here tonight. They, you guys know they do so much. I know you see their names on the agenda a lot, but they are truly making a difference. So in addition to these comments, before we wrap up, made by the students, I just want to make a few other comments and share with you just a little information of some changes that we are making. We've actually transitioned at Bronson High School from an administrative office specialist program to gaming, simulation, and programming. That is a course that actually meets the new requirement. The students have an opportunity to take a computer science course during their high school time. But thinking about gaming and simulation, the software like Precision Hub, the software that our Health Academy students are engaged in where they simulate taking care of a patient and they simulate doing some of these skills. All of that simulation is just, it's a growing industry. IT is behind health science in the fastest growing occupations. And so the kids at Bronson have been just absolutely excited about this opportunity. And so it is the very first year of the program. So they're taking the very first course, which is Game and Simulation Foundations. And so this is just a real basic foundation course that gives them the basics in programming and things like that. I can't spell tonight. So I wanted to just show you a little bit of video, and I know Mr. Edson has stole my thunder and has shared a little bit of this with you guys already. So I'm hoping that you actually haven't seen this particular video, but this is a video of our kids in the gaming simulation program. And let's see if I can get to the right one. We actually have multiple for those that may be interested in checking this out. So we're going to check out this one right here. So, I forgot about sound, but
employees when they understand what's expected of them from the workforce. Levy County Schools career and technical education programs get students off on the right foot by providing a sound foundation for future success.
The ever-growing popularity of video games is creating demand for design and programming careers, which is the reason we recently launched our program for game, simulation, and animation programming. This highly creative and technical program is ideal for students who enjoy math and physics. Classes provide practical training in game and simulation conceptualization, design, storyboarding, development methodologies, essential programming techniques, and implementation procedure. Students who complete this program will acquire essential skills to pursue a career as a game or simulation designer, a game programmer, or a game software developer.
To learn more about our programs and how they can help you get on the path to success, contact the Levy County Schools Career and Technical Education Program.
so CareerSource actually created those videos and funded this project in an effort to provide some resources to potential business partners so they can see what kind of talent pipeline we might be able to provide to potential businesses coming into the area. So this program's been really popular. It's I go in there and the kids are having a great time, but they're learning basic coding. And from there, they'll become pretty advanced by the time they get to the end of that fourth year. The industry certification tied to this program is through Toon Boom, and it's animation certification. So they're excited about that. All of our middle schools actually have a coding fundamentals class now, a basic fundamental class in in creating code. And they're pretty good at it. It looks pretty impressive when you stand behind them. So if you get a chance, they're going to come probably later in the year, maybe towards right at the end of the year, so that you can have an opportunity to play some of the games that they've created. Always challenges when we add new programs like letting kids get to games and learn and evaluate the tools, right? Bronson students, are you involved in that program with Mr. Wilson? No, it's like I said, it's the first year we're phasing out the administrative office. So it takes 3 years to phase out and to bring in a new program. I know I stood before you last year and I was so excited about the carpentry program taking off, but I can tell you this year I'm really excited. We have another teacher. You know, that industry is booming right now, so keeping somebody from the real construction industry here in the school system. So our new instructor, we're pretty excited about him. I think there was a final note that I wanted you to take a quick look at. There's a document that is available for most of you to look at. It's just a flip document. It came from what was called an economic security report that was done in the spring last year. And there was a couple of things that popped out. Actually, this went out through Skyward to every parent and every student at the end of last school year. Not the whole document. I wouldn't do that. But just a real quick bar graph, if you can find that. But if you'll take a quick look at this bar graph, the power of career and technical education, the power of a certificate program, a PSAB program, or an AS degree is sitting right there on that front page. And I don't know if everybody can pick this out, but if we look at this and look at what the median income is, when I graduate with an AA degree, it's $28,128. The median income when I graduate and walk off campus with my bachelor's degree is $35,156. But if you'll find the AS degree on here, the applied science degree, and look at the median, or career certificate. Look at a career certificate, $34,000. Now, it's just the money, you know, advanced technical certificates. Look at that one, $45,000. That's just a certificate. You gotta have a skill to go to work. What is going to be your skill? What will that skill be? That's what you have to have.
It's just, I was talking with Rusty Skinner last week,
Yes.
and he was telling me about kids coming out of our health academy, which we ODN, and they're receiving $5,000 signing bonuses.
Yeah, the signing bonuses, you know, and I always brag about our CNAs, they can go to work. I mean, Kelly State, is it $14.50 an hour?
It's about 12 and a half.
Okay.
Starting out, but that's full-time benefits too, that's a 401k, that's health insurance, that's retirement, et cetera. So, and that's hard to come by, I mean, the insurance for sure, is a huge expense for families and singles that are getting off their parents' insurance.
Yeah.
But a lot of people fall through the cracks during that time.
I sure do. And there's one other document I referenced in the newsletter, and I know I've shared with you before, our students who complete the career and technical education program have a higher graduation rate. Well, the United States Department of Education was commissioned to do a study on just Florida and what Florida's doing with their CAPE academies. And the graduation, again, the graduation rate was proven to be much higher for students who have an industry certification than those who do not. But the other interesting thing was the students who have an industry certification are more likely to enroll in post-secondary and complete the post-secondary. Because we know a lot of our students start college, but they don't finish. And so the completion rate is higher. So I can give you links to these, but I have perused this several times. And the data is there to support what is happening with career and technical education. And so I would lead by saying, you know, we are very grateful for the support of this board. And we know that we want to continue to do work, and we want to continue to provide new opportunities. On the back of that card that I gave you actually has some numbers. And you know, numbers are hard to do because sometimes you have duplicates. We have students who are in multiple programs. But you can see from this that we have approximately 1,300 students taking a career and technical education course. Obviously, agriculture is our highest enrollment, but look how many agricultural programs we have. So there, I would like to continue to work to change and move us more into some, kind of split it, you know, but I think we've got to have some more programs that lead to those jobs that are on the workforce demand list. And those are IT, health, and manufacturing. Construction's good.
And one of the things that's not on here, yes, we are OTC.
Correct. Correct. It is.
So that falls into the CTE.
Not really. They want to be. The RTC folks have appealed several times to Marcian and lobbied Marcian is the executive director of the Florida Association of Career and Technical Educators. And they are invited to come to our annual conference, but you know, it's kind of dictated and driven by that course code number, and you're going to start with an 8. So, thank you very much.
Ms. Carol, thank you. And, I don't know that you, it's, when we get in the education realm, I don't know if that's 60-40 or 40-60 or whatever that is, career, college ready, but it's good to see students show up who have a skilled knowledge about something that's applied to the real world.
Absolutely.
It warms my heart to see that. In a world where we live in, the workforce that's needed.
Absolutely. And that's it, the gap, the employment gap is there because we don't have the skilled workers. Yes, that's not why we can't fill these, well, that is why we cannot fill positions. It's not, there's not people who go to work, it's just there's not people who skilled go to work. And that's the gap in the employment.
I'll tell you what we'll do, because I know there's probably some students who want to get home to do the rest of their homework. We'll just take no more than 5 minutes. Y'all are welcome to stay for the rest of the meeting, but those who want to present it, we'll take like a 5-minute recess, so you don't have to slip out.
One of the good things. Thursday. Thursday.
Sarah, you're not.
You don't wear that shirt.
I'm going to eat that, but I'm a first date fan. Sorry.
Violation of dress code.
You fell a lot.
All right, we'll get back to business. We'll start back with item F, the school board policy revision. Ms. Julie. And I want to say before you go, did a great job Saturday night.
Thank you very much. I'm looking at you. Good evening. I'm bringing before you, once again, the procurement for school food service. We had to add a clause in there to cover micro-purchase procedures. Without that clause, I recently had a review with the state Florida Department of Agriculture, and they helped me realize that we left out the micro-purchase procedures. So anything that I wanted to purchase under $50,000, such as a computer monitor for $120, I have to show them 3 quotes, thank you, 3 quotes. Now that we have the clause in there, that would not be necessary. It's very time consuming to get those 3 quotes for this building. I mean, even $1 a pen, I have to do it. So with this, that will help save time.
So what he's asking for is permission to advertise.
So moved.
Moved and seconded to post advertisement for micro purchase. Is there any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, nay. Motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Julie. Great presentation. Okay, we'll move to item G, strategic planning.
All
Superintendent.
right, okay, I've got to get up to this. As I've talked with you several times, kind of sort of got a strategic plan that we've been working with, but I'm talking to you about really working and developing a working strategic plan and document going on. We just don't want a strategic document. We want a strategic plan that the board is a part of, the board is working with team members of, and that we work and we support. And whether it's programs like you see here tonight, whatever it is, you know, but it's the thing that, and our vision is always going to be our guiding statement, our guiding philosophy of what we do, which is safe and graduating kids, college and career. Okay? And so, in the things that we have, I've given you several things, and basically they fall into like 5 different silos. And, you know, as we work, we might want to pretty up some of the silos of names, how we work on that. Basically, there's a student achievement silo, a human resource silo, physical resources silo, public relations, and safe schools. Now, what we as a team have done is we've gone in here and we as an instructional team have kind of assigned ourselves to different places. Now, I can tell you I'm on every one of them. And for example, in human resources, that's natural for our director of personnel to be on that. For example, physical resources, that's a natural for Kim Lake to be on here. Jerry Ford, Pam Whitney, Morgan Dennis, this is the stuff that we do. Okay? Public relations, of course, we got Carol and Kaylee on here, and of course Dennis and Safe Schools. And on the student achievement, it's a natural for these folks because one of the things that I know you've been hearing is SUP, which is the Area Student Succeeds Act, different subgroups that are coming down. And so these are the folks that deal with those different subgroups. Now what we try to do, and I don't think our principals have seen this yet either. Okay? So we try to divvy up the different principals on different groups here. So some of this might be a little bit fluid. But we kind of go on here and put different board members in different silos. Now what we're trying to do and trying to avoid is communities in a silo. In other words, if you'll notice that here in Human Resources, Mr. Asbell has principals that are not from Bronson. You might know the model, but these good folks are not from Bronson. Okay, these are not Bronson schools. And so the same thing is here with Mr. Keller, Melissa and Michael, Dennis Weber and Josh Slepp, and Ashley and Danae and Tim. Well, Ashley is Danae. So, you know, that's kind of what we try to do. So any comments, suggestions? Our goal here is to start this process and to start getting you together and these things, to start having meetings. Now, it's a small meeting, and then we work with our administrators. This will be something we share with our principals at every principal meeting. And it's called Working on the Work. And so this will be the guiding document or the guiding processes that we follow in what we do, how we make decisions, what we value as a district. Okay? And so eventually, so these principals, all principals will share this at principal meeting. And then they'll take it back and they'll be sharing it with their teachers and they'll be sharing it with their parents at their school things. So it should be a cyclical process is what we look at. But we will be meeting monthly. In other words, you will be meeting monthly on these teams, working with the district staff and principals on these different goals, now whatever we set up. Hopefully in about a couple of 3 months, we will adopt the strategic plan for this. Comments, suggestions?
I know you got teacher parents there, we're going to add teacher parents there.
Well, those are going to kind of come back at the school level, but they need to be involved at the schoolhouse level. But yes, because you don't want to, when you get here, you don't want to have a group of 20. You want to have a small working group here, and then we communicate it out, and then we bring it back in, communicate it out, bring it back in. That's kind of the concept here. Suggestions?
I just wanted to jolly profiles on us and put us in our buckets.
You'll never know.
That's it.
I feel like we got to talk about it.
No, we tried.
That's okay. That's the way it's
Okay. And next year, we're going to be doing it again. So it's a process that we'll go through each and every year. We evaluate our mission statement. Is this what we still truly believe? And we go from there, and we'll still have different things. I can tell you just from listening to conversation, with your conversation, there's certain things that you value. For example, career technical education will be on the list of things that we do. I can say that you're going to hear a lot more of this from me on here about that, because you're going to hear at the next board presentation some principals and teachers that went out to another school district, and the value of the concept and the language of Apple. Okay? That is something that is out there, has roots in our school district, and we have supported in the past. So we'll be talking about that. Kind of sort of, they just don't know.
I love that.
Yeah.
It's great.
So, They don't have a formal Abbott program, but Abbott has changed. Abbott has changed, and we'll be talking about that. And I mean in a good way. Abbott has brought in, I don't know if Mr. Wallace to speak to this or not, but Abbott has brought in a big
So Jeff, we meet monthly, and then the principals meet how?
we meet at least monthly. So right now, some of our principals meet twice a month. Just depends on what we put in, but we're trying to bring in a lot of the school-based management into the district-based decision-making process.
I just have one comment. I was going to commend you on the paradigm shift of grassroots approach to managing the district and getting input from the outside. I think there's a lot of value and there's a lot of good resources all the way around the whole district. And not only that, is planning the future, looking out ahead. And always been done in the past. And not, I appreciate you not standing up beating your chest. In other words, bringing everyone to the table and let everybody have input so we have got it.
And I can say, I'm just like anybody else. I have my prejudices and good opinions in what we should do and shouldn't do, and I will advocate for what I think. And just like everybody else is going to be able to advocate for what they think and speak their voice, and that's good. And there's nothing wrong with that. And I think as you hear different things, listen to different things, I think we can talk. But I do know this: if we're ever going to get there, we can beat them. Are we okay? Do we have anybody that's going to say, hey, I can't live with Kim Lake, I need to move?
Why do you put me here? Me and Miss Kim get along great.
Yes, what are you saying?
We child support.
Good? All right.
What does DOT stand for?
District instruction.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I should have known DIP, you know?
Yeah. And understand that some of these folks are, Kim Lake is our finance person, but she's not an instruction person. But finances are very, very important to instruction. If we can't afford it, we can't do it. So she's on the team because one of the things that she needs to know is she needs to know where we're going so that we can physically manage our way to get to where we're going. And so it's, even though just like you saw the thing on career technical education today, there's a lot of financial components to that. And so we need to move and balance those things. And although, the finance is not all just about balancing the budget, finance is about putting the resources for our kids' needs.
So these teams will meet once a week?
Not once a week. Hopefully, our goal is to meet once a month.
I saw your faces drop, Leslie.
Yeah.
And on the public relations, there's going to be a governance component in there. It's going to be doing a lot of work, not just in getting the message out through web-based or through press releases or something like that. It's going to be getting the message out on these local news. So that's the goal there. You good?
Do we know action
Let's,
items?
So just
Decided,
be ready to work.
So you'll give us notice when we're gonna do it or start or dates?
Yeah, there's going to be a lead person for each one of these. They're going to control all that and organize everything. And so hopefully what's going to happen is, again, that we'll have to come together as regular board meetings. We'll come together, we'll discuss this and what's going on so that everybody knows, so that Ashley knows what's going on in the human resources department, because I know she's very familiar with that. That's some of your background, correct? So you can all have input into it and talk about it and know what's going on in every silo. But you're going to be a member of the board.
Will we rotate every year?
Hopefully.
Because they need something on
Because I would think and I hope that, for example, you saw in our career technical education programs tonight, you saw two things tonight that did not exist last year.
Good statement. All right, thank you, Mr. Superintendent. Item 8 is approval of minutes of January 29th, 2019, and January 31st, 2019 board meetings. So we're consent agenda. Start with Ms. Brooks.
I don't have any answer, thank you very much.
Yar?
I'm good tonight.
Mr. Asman?
I just want to point out that under general items A, number 2, Bobby Harrington, his my English teacher when I was in high school. And she's a good teacher for me, and I hate to see her go, but she deserves a good retirement. Right? Put up with me when I was in ninth grade.
Mr. Aswell, she came back out of drop and had an unfortunate accident and had to have some surgery. Otherwise, she would be finishing out. So I would be remiss because she was my teacher also, and my daughter's teacher in middle school. So it served us very, very well. So Levy County appreciated her record. So I think
That's one of those homegrown teachers.
chief of graduate.
Chief,
Did
you know
you
what?
teach at
When I
what
was-
school?
Bronson.
But when I was in elementary, I remember when she was in high school, so.
I believe her son graduated from Bronson.
Son graduated, 2 sons. What's that? I'm sorry.
All right, moving on, Ms. Lynn. Very good. I just have a couple. First off, did you receive some training this week?
I did, yeah.
So you understand the numbers better now?
Kim, busy. Coming to you, I went to a finance workshop in Mount Dora last Thursday.
Nice.
That FSBA put on, that was amazing. I mean, 8 to 5. Yeah, a lot of, yeah.
It's a lot.
She's
Not,
We put her on the next agenda, right? She's gonna present it
no,
next.
negative.
Yeah.
That's the way it works.
The only other thing that I had, under 1A is number 9. We're happy to say that we have a new PE coach and head football coach at Wilson Middle High School.
Where's he coming from, this right?
He's coming from right across the river, but he's,
Gotcha.
yes,
He knows how to wear red.
He knows how to work.
we've had those discussions about coming on this side, but he's excited, we're excited.
Take the bridge or did he swim?
He didn't take long to get through Bronson, Mr. Asman.
Was he not with us for one?
He was, and that's, he was. Matter of fact, he was here until March, he took a different position, with the reception of the students, and was well taken. He comes in swinging, he's ready to roll, so. Yeah, there you go. Anyway, I didn't have anything, any other comments?
I will,
Yes,
I
sir.
should, so, and I know 10 there, Ms. Ann Wood has served us really well, so. So, Mr. Masters, maybe you would know how many years?
She's running 30, I believe.
Right at 30, so, but anybody that, and her and Ms. Arrington, that put that many years and that much love into our children, so we sure appreciate it, so.
I can speak personally on Ann Wood, because I've worked with her for many years, and I can't tell you how many kids she's raised.
She has, she's doing a good job. And cares about them.
And if you wanna, if you do get the thing before she leaves, get a chance to buy her glass of wine.
You did that?
Yes.
Yeah. They mind, they all sit down, they're good.
She had an elderly gentleman who passed away recently. Every morning, every afternoon, he'd be at the resident waiting for the kids.
Any other comments on the consent agenda? No.
Move adoption.
Second.
Been moved and seconded, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Motion passes. We'll move into the superintendent's comments, recommendations.
Just a couple quick comments. First off, on Galen, great job at home, great job on the team, Mr. Etheridge, and Julie for everything. It was outstanding. The atmosphere, and I relayed those comments to Annie and all the foundation board members. I thought it was a wonderful time. Good event, raised a lot of money for kids, to give the kids. So that was great for scholarships. Also, I've sent on our behalf flowers to Pam Quincy. She passed away, and her funeral was last Saturday, I believe. So on our behalf, I sent flowers to her. And I know Black History Month is this month as well. And I know there's an event at the courthouse at 10 o'clock. So Ms. Carolyn Powers will be there, and I know that the school board folks will be on it. Yeah, Friday, 10 o'clock.
All right, we'll start board comments on the other end. Ms. Lewinsky.
I don't have a lot tonight. I was gonna talk about my FSBA training last week. I don't have an education background, so I'm a sponge, and I'm the one Googling all the acronyms with Mr. Terry during the meetings, but it was very, beneficial, and,
And we make some up too, so good.
yeah. That's Thursday marks the year of the Parkland shooting, and I came on board. My election was, I think, when you guys were doing a lot of hard work implementing the unfunded mandates and working with the community to get things done as far as SRO, and I talked to Breezy earlier in the week too about, meeting for the hardening with the schools, and there's been a lot done in a year, so I'm proud to be a part of that now. That's it.
I can tell you, we do a lot of training, and we do a lot of, I don't want to say live training, but we do a lot of reality training. Because things happen not only at the first second of times. So you have to be prepared.
Mr. Aswell.
I will, I'll hold off on Gail comments. I'll let Mr. Cowell take it. I do not steal thunder. I want to congratulate the Bronson Middle School basketball team. They finished 18-0, undefeated, first time in 10 years, beating bigger schools like Key was in there. They did an outstanding job, and we're going to unveil a banner in a couple of weeks. Kids win, they want a banner, so we're going to get them a banner up there. Also, the Bronson FFA coming out of land judging winners in middle school as well as high school, county going on the state, beating other schools in our county. Doing a great job. And now I would like to ask my fellow, as most of you know, next week is National FFA Week. Bronson FFA alumni will have their annual food fest on the 22nd. Anybody need a ticket? I got tickets. But I would like to ask my fellow Bronson FFA member here if you help me shake some. Would you mind, Mr. Cowell? This is something, you're going to be the first people to see this. We had over 16 people, 17 people donate their FFA jackets, Bronson FFA jackets, to create this quilt. Now there's cool stories with this quilt. The jackets on this quilt have traveled over 150,000 miles. They have been to 12 different national FFA conventions, over 25 state FFA conventions. These were donated. There is represented here are 2 American, in my day it's called American Farmer Degree recipient, 10 State Farmer recipients. There are 3 chapter presidents on here. There is a state FFA secretary on here. There are 3 district officers represented here. The Bronson FFA is now 81 years old, with a very storied history. And this represents that history. The oldest jacket on here is actually from the 60s. And a member donated that with a great story. He said, I was the president of the FFA chapter and we were poor in Bronson. And it wasn't until I was a senior that I was able to get an FFA jacket. And he said, this has been kept pristine and put away. And when I heard about this, I wanted to see that other kids would be able to see this. And this is actually, we're still collecting stories on what FFA jackets meant. One of these, and I can't tell you which one it is because it's kind of blended together. But there are lots of differences throughout there. But one of these was really cool. It still had steer snot on it, which was one had a note in the pocket, and I called the person and I said, did you know this note was in there? And the note was, do you think this boy likes you? And they are married today. And so kind of cool. But there's lots of neat things, and people would say, this thing means so much to me. that some people couldn't park with their FFA tags. And others like, if it'll help somebody, I will gladly donate it. Mine is on here somewhere. And I know who that one belongs to, and I know who that one belongs to, and I know which one's the oldest. And you'll notice it's changed over the years. Some say vocational agriculture, say some agricultural education. You got to know some little weird things with the emblem. But anyway, I tell you that to tell you this. This item will be available at the auction at the FFA Food Fest next Friday night. We're hoping it raises a lot of money. I will go ahead and make this announcement if anybody wants to get in on this. I am trying to gather up a group of buyers for this, and I will discuss the plan for this with anybody who wants to be interested in it. This was designed and put together by our own Carrie Strickland's mother, Miss Kathy Weeks. She did it for us as a kind of a labor of love, and threw in here that's on the National Blue and Corn Gold with a lot of FFA sayings. So anybody that's ever been in FFA will recognize all these sayings, and wanted y'all to be the first to see it here tonight. And Mr. Etheridge, if you want a really nice FFA thing in your house, over there in Williston, this will really look good.
Mr. Asbell, who put the quilt together?
Kathy Weeks. That's Carrie Strickland's mom. She is a hardcore quilter.
Yeah, I know they raffled off one of her quilts.
They raffled one off
earlier
not long ago that she made. That was really
this year. No,
cool.
I didn't win that.
You went on, that's what.
I can.
I help you. Come on, see me. I help you. That's all I have, Mr. Ed.
That was pretty good.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
I will readily admit, I was one of those that was not willing to part with my jacket. So he asked me, he said, would you be willing to give your jacket? And I took a deep breath like that, and he said, it's a lot of people that feel that way. There's a lot of pride. There's a lot of hard work that goes into wearing one of those. And there's a lot of great memories and great things that come from that.
I will admit this. If Terry Wentz puts it on his article, or she steals it anywhere shows up, it's a lie. But when I handed my jacket over to him, I actually cried. It was a big deal. And it came out. Finally said, I cannot ask other people to do this if I'm not going to do this. And I sat there for a minute and cried, and my wife never excused me.
I owe a lot of the person I am because of FFA, because of the advisors that put time into me, and so I so appreciate that. Ms. Carroll, I appreciate all the effort that you go to put into our advisors, whether it's FFA, HOSA, because I know how important those things are to those students. Just like seeing Ms. Khan today, one of the wonderful, prestigious things, to be one of 24 students to go 4 weeks on the University of Florida's campus. So that's amazing. That's what a Lee County student can go and do. And I hope you ladies and gentlemen that are here from Crossville High School can see you're destined to go do great things. So hard work and effort. The world is ahead of you. So we have mentioned that Thursday is the anniversary. I'm very proud of our board and our district administration, our maintenance people, of the efforts that they put in to keep our students safe in a safe environment. And what that means, it's not easy when you are a little handcuffed by your financial situation, and whenever you build buildings that you're trying to rechange, configure, and take buildings that go from a campus that's an open air campus and try and make them more secure is not the easiest thing that we're doing. So Breezy, thank you to you and your men. Thank you to Mr. Weber, Mr. Rock, and all those that are putting in the effort, Mr. Edison, to keep our students safe, and especially the SROs that are on campus. So appreciate the sheriff, the county commission, them being our partners in this and keeping our students safe. So, Mr. Edison, I so appreciate the workshop we had. It it was great to have every one of our administrators come here, give us a snapshot of where we are academically, because when it's all said and done, that's why we're here, is to get them educated, keep them safe, but we want them educated, so they can go out and do those great things. So sure appreciate that, and it was very, very informative, and appreciate all the hard work that the administrators went through for that. So as you say, work in the work. So
Just a sidebar, one of the things that we're doing this year, that you're talking about, I had team of 4 administrators go to meeting tonight to visit, and we're learning some different things that they're doing. We do a lot of the same things, we have professional conversations. We visit the Fayette County, also especially the Rural School. We also visit Cooperstown. So we're working, and we got a lot of support partners are out there, and we're just trying to learn from each other, have these conversations, develop relationships. So there's a lot of work that goes on. Try to learn from each other.
So, hitting on that, so the gala, obviously, Mr. Edwards' food was superb, so Miss Julia, so we kind of debriefed yesterday at Foundation, so, and Miss Stacy from Vico Brady's, her and Mark, kind of helped run the student volunteers, so we didn't have as many as we wanted there, but we came away with the idea that it was probably the smoothest running gala, so, and that was because of you and your ladies in the lunchroom and back in the kitchen, so, and also the 24 kids we had from every school in the county, high school in the county represented there that were there doing community service and doing a jam-up job. And then we had some students that participated, so from throughout, so I just appreciate the efforts of Ms. Annie and our foundation board to go through. So that is our big deal, and we're still kind of tallying up. So we're getting close to almost $40,000 raised. So I know we've got a few bills to come in and things there. So we're going to be maybe just a little bit shy of that, but that's money that we're able to put back into scholarships, put back into classroom grants, and do great things. So last thing I'll talk about is I know that we're geared up, get prepared. We're still a couple months out from being day in the legislature. They've got committee meetings going on, so term limits for school board members is moving through, so that's a House Joint Resolution out of Lake County. So that's going to be, will possibly be on the ballot for 2020 to see if that's the appetite of the good citizens of the state of Florida to have term limits for school board members. I did notice on Twitter that one of our state board of education members, and so who's a former school board member, kind of tweeted out and wondered why only school board members, why there wasn't other charter officers on that, so specifically county commissioners. But so anyways, and I will mention that one of the things that I think that if there can be good that comes out of things, you know, when we have times of great sadness and sorrow and difficulties, is there's communication between Florida Association of Counties, the League of Cities, Florida Sheriff's Association. So all of us are kind of trying to come together to find ways to keep our students safe, provide mental health, and do the things that we need to do to get them to be able to where they can learn. So appreciate that. And thank you very much.
I'm going to just echo what everybody said about the gala. It was wonderful, and I agree with Chris that it really ran very smooth this year, very easy and just flowed. And I'm always, you know, look at the kids and serving and everything. They never noticed it was smaller. They did a fabulous job. It was great. Enjoy having all the students here on our board meetings, and thank y'all for coming. Great attendance. Thank you.
I do really remiss. First time ever Cedar Key was represented at the state fair. We just had a student go down and show a rabbit, so it was there and did quite well. So in that, so we're hoping that as FFA grows and things there, so between it and some of our other stuff here, so it's kind of a work in progress. So we got some kids venturing out and doing the first time thing, so which is always a wonderful thing.
Okay, I want to know a few things, and I won't go on about the gala, but this is my second year cooking. Miss Julia, I had more fun with those staff last year and then more this year too. Those lunchroom ladies, food service ladies, right? They're fun people. And, you know, I learned some stuff last year. Last year I learned about a little log time that we melt trays, but I learned that we can't put pepper in our food this year in the cafeteria. I learned that we can't serve pork unless advertised. I learned a lot of things that Miss Julie and them have to deal with, and I learned there's a lot of politics in our food. But anyway, I got to sit around the cafeteria all day, and at the new Wilson Middle High School, we have a nice cafeteria. I mean, if you like to cook, you can't go in there and just say, wow, that dishwasher is amazing. It's got a little presentation of dishwasher.
Now, I did ask Miss Julie if they got all that bacon on his feet.
Anyway, we had a good time doing it, and you know, the foundation board was in and out. Anyway, it's a lot of work. Breezy was there all day Friday, back and forth. And yeah, just a lot of work, but at the same time, it all comes together and we don't have events in Lee County like that very often. It's good to have that for that kind of entertainment. Just a good old time to raise money. Yeah, we're just an old rural county, and every county has something to show up, don't they? There's students here, and I heard some. I want you to understand, Mr. Asbell and I, and Ms. Brookins and I, kind of a while back, inter-county rivalry is a good thing. So I don't want you to take our comments sometimes the wrong way, because we think it's healthy for us to do that, and we try to send that down the line, because healthy competition between schools is good. So I don't want you to ever think that we're the wrong way. I would have donated my jacket to you.
I didn't want.
As a centerpiece of the building. I'm a little jealous that you came up with the idea before we did it.
You always come up with great ideas, Mr. Ridley. If you just heard this out of context, you would think we really don't like each other. We actually love each other. We love all our schools, and to me, it's really healthy to kind of pick each other, like good friends do.
Absolutely. It makes me go home and think about maybe a blanket, not a quilt.
Yeah, it makes me think. They do something like, well, we don't do a problem, we gotta do something. We can't have that.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, I wouldn't be able to donate my FFA jacket. Carol, would you be able to donate yours from Sheepland?
Well, I would tell you, I was an FHA girl, not an FFA girl. I'm a little older, but.
I'll say this. The other day, there was a group of men in Williston about 2 or 3 months ago that put on this group challenge to post your picture zipped up in your FFA jacket. No, I zipped mine to the top. I zipped mine to the top. And we had one gentleman that took both of his jackets and zipped them together and put the arms through. He got two of them. But if you've been through that program, and yeah, it's you were held to a higher standard when it was zipped, and we should, and I hope we hold our students to that standard now, because it's a great program that's done wonders for a lot of our students. I wouldn't be where I'm at today. Ms. Brookins told me the other day that we had a very contentious workshop the other day, and I think we had 2 amendments on the floor one time, and it got real.
It got interesting.
Yeah, but FFA and Parliament's procedure allow the training to work all the way through that and keep it under parliamentary law. We made our way through it. I don't know how many times we amended it, but we came out with it.
We got out on the right side.
We got on the right side.
If I may also, Mr. Edson reminded me of something I do need to mention. There will be most people know that Jimmy Durden passed away in 2018 after a long battle with cancer. Mr. Durden was a longtime supporter of Bronson Athletics. He was a very important member of our community. He was a graduate of the class of 1982, along with Mr. Lott back there. And he had been a big supporter of Eagle softball. His class has gotten together, and they're going to put a monument in memory of Mr. Durden at the softball field. That will also be on the 22nd at about 4 p.m. And everybody's invited to come out. The Durden family is a big family in this community. We just about all kin to each other when you really get cooking it down. We all drink the same water. So when Jimmy passed away, we all felt that pain. And it's really special that they're able to do that. Another thing on the FFA jacket thing, now there is when I started this, Marcia Smith, our advisor over there, she said, there's one jacket I want you to try to get. I want you to try to get. And when she told me in person, I said, he ain't never gonna part with that jacket. He ain't never gonna part with that jacket. And that was Jeff Miller. He was our first state officer. And Jeff and I are very good friends, so I contacted Jeff. He called me back. He goes, "You really want my FFA jacket?" "Yeah, I want it." And he said, "I got to think on this." He called me back. He says, "Ain't but 3 things I've ever really hardcore prayed about wanting an answer and couldn't do until I got an answer." He said, "One was when I got married, one was when I ran for Congress, and one was giving you my FFA jacket." And he said, "For some reason, God has told me to give you that FFA jacket." And it's his state officer jacket. Well, it was, this bad, put it this way, but it's the truth. It was kind of like getting the Holy Grail. This is the, everybody's like, whoa. And I have this thing in my possession. And then it came time, well, are we going to do that? And I got Jeff's FFA jacket. I could not give them Jeff's FFA jacket. So Jeff's FFA jacket is going to be put into a display case, and we're going to present that. Nobody at the school knows about it. We're going to present that to the high school to be displayed.
I just need to know how long after postpone this meeting.
It's going to be up there where it can be displayed, and where kids can see it and go,
That's a good.
that's cool. And Jeff's, it's funny because when Jeff was a state officer, Jeff was a stick. Jeff and I both, we can't wear our jacket anymore.
That's a good thing.
It's a good thing.
We also had a FFA member with Marcus Wayne at state camp, and Bronson.
Yes, we did. Thank you. Thank you, Sam.
Levy County was well represented at the state fair, so.
And still being represented by that.
It's still be going on.
Yeah, they're doing goats today. That's why your opening and closing team wasn't here tonight. That will be competing at state.
We've had rabbits, we've had pigs, we've had calves, I think steers, we've
Yeah.
had some bulls maybe, so. All over across the board.
And
Absolutely.
y'all know Yankee Town hopefully will be showing their first little piggy at the Swanee River Fair.
Yes.
Absolutely. We got it weighed up and everything's in good shape.
Yes, sir.
That's the first
Yes.
That's the first one.
Last year didn't make it.
Oh, okay.
All right. Is there any other business coming before the board?
I move we adjourn.
It's been moved.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Any objections? Thank you all for coming.